remote working leaves businesses increasingly vulnerable to cyber attacks, say experts. This is from Digiday.
I'm not surprised at all. How about you, Shu?
I'm not surprised either.
I mean, did we not know this? Like, we all went from working in a temperature controlled, like Nerf padded office to everyone working from home. We knew security was not a priority when we did that, right?
I think the article brought up an interesting point where it talked about routers not just being out of date and the manufacturers aren't going to upgrade that firmware. That was honestly even under my radar. And we've already had a story earlier this year about routers being sold with backdoors in them to China. So yeah.
Well, even more than the backdoors. I mean, every single Cisco router, you can literally just look up the make and model number and it'll tell you exactly. I think they're all set to admin and password, but just in case yours isn't, Cisco keeps an index online that you can check for exactly how to get into your router. So, but beyond that, it really strikes me that it's about delayed gratification. Like, I think employees can say, I cannot click on that until I get home. But I think especially under COVID, with everybody working from home, there's been so much tension and pressure that people are likely to have a little bit more risk-taking behavior online. And we can see what that's doing for breaches and for security awareness.
And we've also seen incidents where an employee's kid does something crazy and dumb too, is compromised
100%
work assets.
Yeah, I mean, I think router level attacks are even more sophisticated than what we're really dealing with. I think router would take a level of technical skill. Like, we're all the way at the top. Like, I guarantee some breaches have happened from emails that say like, hey, click here. And they're like, okay, I'm going to click there. You know, if you are at home, you're probably not practicing the best security habits. You've probably not had a year of people reminding you to be secure. And so we're seeing the consequences of that.
I think we've already forgotten about that lawyer whose daughter messed with his Zoom settings and turned him into a cat. You guys remember that? That's like, that's the level that we're at. It's just, you leave your laptop lying around. It's probably not another coworker or an attacker who's going to mess with it. It's likely your kids.
I'm not convinced that wasn't a cat.
To be,
Not a cat.
to be fair, like one of the main points that were brought up came from Verizon 2020 DBIR. It was like
Data breach investigation reports, DBIR.
when people work from home, the problem is they don't have physical access to a security team, meaning when they get confused by something, they can't just go up to one of their, fellow coworkers and say, hey, you work for the security team. Like, I got this email. It's kind of weird. Is this weird? Am I in danger? Like, what is happening here? Like, what are the levels that are missing here? And that they're glossing in that, okay, sure, you take on more danger and risk when you work from home, but is it because you don't have this security professional right next to you that you say, hey, this looks bad, can you look at it?
I think a lot of it is mindset. I think a lot of people browse for work as though they were browsing for home because they're at home.
I'm just imagining Steve Buscemi saying, hey fellow security team. Hey, fellow security team, do you think this email is weird?
How do you do?
How do you do, fellow security people? Yes, this article is security is bad when you're at home and no one is surprised. And if SolarWinds alone was not a surprising data breach, we're going to see a whole lot of businesses that got broken into while people work from home.